Hello, everybody.
Hi.
So, should we do our little intro, Brittany?
We could try. I'm Brittany Chavers.
And I'm Deb Floros. And this is
Is
Crimped.
Crimped. We did it. We're getting better. We're getting better. How many months has it been?
If nothing else, it will give people something to laugh about.
Yeah, I should do like an Instagram reel or something of us just doing all these intros every month
Yeah,
at the end
just
of the year.
compile them. We could do them quarterly, like the first quarter of Crimped introductions, and then we could do another quarter. We'll see if we've improved over time.
Yeah, I
might.
think we're getting better. I think
I think
How
so.
you doing, Deb?
I'm doing good. I'm doing really good. How about you?
Good. Busy as always, but busy is good too.
Yeah. Not busy is not good, I think. Like if you're just kind of not doing things, your brain does weird things to you. And so it's good to stay busy, I think.
Yes. We have a lot to stay busy with, especially with Crimped. We do challenges that gets the motor running, the creativity flowing, right?
Yeah. This month was fun. So before we get into that, just let's remind everybody what is this thing we're doing here? So the Crimped show is really a little bit of a collaboration talk show style. Brittany and I decided to embark on, and there's one fun component that sort of spawned the name of the show. So Brittany, tell them what this Crimped thing is all about.
So we have a challenge every month, and if you've seen the show Chopped on the Food Network, we challenge each other to make something out of weird ingredients or just off the wall ingredients. Sometimes we're a little bit easy on each other, sometimes not so much. If you saw the episode where I sent Deb a pill bottle to use, which she mastered wonderfully, but we challenge each other each month to make something using specific ingredients. And Deb came up with the name Crimped, and it was just it's serendipitous for us because we love crimping, right? And we've come up with some amazing pieces over the last few months, and so have you. We've been posting in our group. We love to cheer you on. I've seen some amazing pieces. I saw one the other day that was just absolutely gorgeous with the yellow floral fabric, and I was just like, I've seen stuff made out of Christmas lights. It's just amazing what everybody's coming up with. So really excited to unveil this month, but every month is a ton of fun.
And if you want to take part in the challenge, you can go back and go to the very first challenge. We did a teaser for the show before it even really officially started and gave a challenge. And we do a challenge each month for each other. And then when we complete that particular challenge, we pass it on to you. But you can go back and do any of them at any time. We just welcome your participation and showing off, the things. But we want you to participate in the actual challenge, using the actual things so that it's relevant to the page and to the group and all that good stuff. So so we're looking forward to passing this one along. So we haven't seen each other's projects yet.
Mine didn't exist 12 hours ago, so I was last night sweating making this thing. You can hear me in my tutorial. I'm like, I'm so tired. I actually said it a few times, so I am a procrastinator. Deb's texted me throughout the week like, hey, I got one piece done. I'm like, good for you, Deb. Great.
Well, one of them took me a while. Like I had to do it in stages. So one of them I think has been in the works for like almost 2 weeks because I had to do it in pieces, and you'll see why. But so I just finished the last one, I think maybe day before yesterday. So that for me, that's like getting down to the wire.
I'm lucky that I didn't wake up at like 7:00 this morning and finish it. I thought about it because I was so tired last night, and I was doing other things too that I had to get done. I was like, can we wake up early or do we go to bed late?
Yeah, you're doing that negotiation thing with yourself.
Morning guy hates night guy.
Yeah.
But I'm excited. Do we want to unveil now?
Well, let's tell them what it was,
Okay.
and
Okay.
then so this challenge was so we last month's crimp episode, so episode 3, we talked a lot about repurposing and refurbishing and upcycling and all of that jewelry that's been previously loved. And I love to do that. You love to do that. So I found great joy in this particular challenge. I'm sure you did too, even though it was, late. But I think so many great things come out of this for so many reasons. So I'm excited to reveal this. And we did, the challenge was to do a necklace, a bracelet, and earrings. So we've not really done that extensive of a challenge yet. So I think what we should do is like show one piece, one of the pieces, and kind of alternate. And so
Okay.
yeah.
You go first.
So
I
you
went
want to
first
go
last
first?
month. You go first.
All right. I'm going to start with my necklace.
Okay.
So I did a video for this, and I'll post it because I think this is just like when I did this, I was thinking about this maybe being a little bit educational for you guys too. So this is my first piece,
Ooh.
and
Closer, please.
this is the actual recycled piece. This pendant.
Gorgeous.
Now it came on this ridiculously ugly chain. Well, I mean, we could repurpose this and make it pretty again, but it just came on this like boring chain.
Mm-hmm.
So, I said this baby needs to be like a little more prominent because it's a really beautiful piece, but the thing about it was a little tarnished. And this little I think it's plastic, it might be glass, had like a little something like scratching on the back.
Mm-hmm.
So it came through in the front and it looked weird. So what I did was I used this this enamel paint called Testors. Comes in a little vial. It's like in the hobby world, they use it for models and that kind of thing. This is great for kind of freshening up metal. So I just painted around the edges of it so you can see it's textured around the edges. I just textured it with the silver, and then I painted the back and I painted over where the glass piece is so that it would cover up, like kind of mask the scratching so that the beautiful little stone in there looks beautiful again. And then I had just recently picked up some fun beads from Michael's. These are little stones, and some daisy spacers and some seed beads, and attach the pendant. And I just think it's just a fun spring summer necklace. And this little pendant really needed a new life. And I really love how it looks. So I'm excited about how this one came out.
Really pretty. So gorgeous. Love what you did. Can't wait to see what you did with the pendant in the video. I'm glad that you mentioned Testors because that kind of ties into our later conversation.
Yeah.
So, all right, I can go with my necklaces. I did 2, and they coordinate. So here's the first one. I actually only used, the only new things I used were 2 jump rings on this, 2 crimp beads, and a veil, and then my stringing wire. Everything else is all old. So I'm going to start from the back. So the back has some like clear lucite beads and some metal beads. And then we're going into some wood melons here. And then some brass and then some patina. These were part of my inspiration. They're kind of a terracotta melon wood bead, more patina. And then this is actually, I don't know if this is showing very well. This is an earring. And I I have the pair over here so you can kind of see it, but it's like a terracotta and it has sand and it's textured and it's gorgeous. And you can see it is actually an earring. But
Yeah.
it's my Southwesty color palette, and I actually thought, oh hey, this morning I found this and it matches. So didn't put any jewelry on because I was knew I was going to end up putting this on this
Yeah.
morning. And then it just has like a little hook and eye clasp that came off of one of the necklaces that I repurposed from it. The funny thing is, I used about 30 different things, 30
Wow.
different pieces. I cut them all apart. I did make a video where I was going through all of my old jewelry and then cutting everything apart, and then I made a separate video
Ooh.
for the necklace. So here's piece one. Piece two really just matches using some of the same pieces. There's some
Ooh.
quartz on the back, some agate on the back, some even acrylic, these really fun like grid wood pieces. And
Love
then it
those.
goes into the same like wood and colors. So
So
this is piece two.
layered necklaces.
Yeah, so here's piece two.
Love that. Oh my
And
gosh.
then here, I'll stand up a little bit. So that's what it looks like together. Perfect match for this, whatever this thing is. And they're kind of lightweight because they're mostly wood and acrylic. So really fun. I feel like glam, desert glam with these,
Yeah,
I think. So
totally.
yeah, they do look vintage, but that's okay because the beads are vintage and I actually really love that look. So and it's fun. It kind of, you know, I called them my someday beads because they're the ones you put in a bucket and you're like, okay, someday I'll go through those. But loved hanging out with my beads last night and actually got
Yeah.
down on the floor and like poured everything out. And Goldie thought that we were playing, but she just
Oh, are
didn't
we gonna have
understand.
fun?
So anyway, those were my two necklaces. Now these are more exciting than the other things I made. The other things are
Okay.
just kind of, but what about your next piece?
Well, I think I'll show my most boring piece next, which are the earrings. But again, I was trying to think about how, um, how people might want to think about, repurposing and recycling. And I love this kind of a design. You guys have probably seen me do similar things before if you followed me for a while. So I'll show you the pieces and then I'll show you kind of where they came from. So they're little suspended connectors on enameled chain. And let me hold one up so you get a better
Yeah,
look.
those are really pretty.
So I should say this. We're going to by the time you see this, you probably will have already seen the reveal of these pieces. And we'll have like some before and after shots and some things that you can see these pieces a little bit better. But I didn't have I cut up this piece a long time ago, but it had all of these beautiful little detailed connectors or like sliders. They have the holes on the side. So it was probably a statement necklace, I'm thinking. And so I've had the little pieces I wanted to use for a long time. And then I found this in a pile of stuff. Now, this is what it looks like. It's just this like madness of chain, but it was a multi-strand necklace and it had this really beautiful light blue, almost like Tiffany blue enamel chain, and it's in great condition. So I just thought these kind of had a little bit of like a fancy Tiffany vibe to them. And I thought they were just really elegant and pretty. So you can just take a piece of a statement necklace, which those are out in, the Goodwill stores and all those kinds of things, and just cut them up and take a couple and make an earring. They're earrings.
Very pretty. Love that color. You know I love that color.
Yeah. Well, you always seem to seep into my brain with that color. Like that's usually where it comes out for me is the turquoise color usually comes out in these challenges.
Love that. So my earrings they incorporate some of the exact same beads that were in the necklaces. These little brass curly
Ooh.
cues were hanging off another necklace, and I don't know if this is showing. It's like not but there's like a stone bead, a wood bead, a brass bead, and then another one of those lucite beads. And it's just cute little curly whirlies. And then I used a Huggy ear wire to kind
Yeah,
of make it a little bit more modern. But like this, I feel like they're timeless because you can wear those
100%.
with anything.
I
So
love those are hammered. That adds
yep,
a little bit of texture to them. That's really cool.
yeah, these are fun and very lightweight.
Cool. Really fun. So see, we're bringing out all different kinds of ways that you can take things and put them together. So
Mm-hmm.
this one is the 2-week project. So I'll pull over a few of the things and show you what I've got here. So I love sliders. I've made no bones about that. I had this really overstretched bracelet with these cool wood components.
Ooh,
So they have holes on the side. They're if you can see the shape of them, they have like a little ridge in, or a little, I don't know, there's a ridge in there. And these just sang to me. Like I have to do something with these. And I started digging around and I found this little baggie of 98-cent beads, the little wood beads, 98 cents. This was probably from like Walmart or something. It was somewhere in my wood stash. And I'm like, what can I do with these? So I started painting them. And that's also a Brittany inspiration, all of the clay you've been painting. And so I started I sanded these guys down and painted them a little bit. And then I painted the little beads too. And I made this super colorful knotted bracelet.
How cute.
So just use some acrylic craft store paint. And I used 3 of the big pieces, and then I just kind of dotted the little beads, and they're the corresponding colors. And then I did, a little macrame knot to close it up. But it's a big honkin' bracelet, but I just love how fun it is. This is so, I had so much fun making this. All of my I would paint, and then I would let the pieces dry on the sides, especially the little cubes. And then I would bring it back and do the next round. And I made some little extra beads. I made some little flower beads too, with the rest of these little 98-cent, wood beads that I had. But this bracelet is so much fun. I'm going to totally wear this because it's just
super cute. It's super cute. I love that.
That's my favorite.
Your 2-week bracelet is going to be anchored by my 2-minute bracelet, because by this point, it was the last thing I made last night. I was like,
you gotta have balance.
Yeah. So one of the necklaces I took apart was all like older, like agate and maybe not Amazonite, Amazonite. The other A one, the green one. I can't remember the name at the moment.
Azurite? No.
Gosh, both of us are gonna.
That's gonna drive us
crazy.
crazy.
We forgot the name. Anyway,
Aquamarine.
No. No.
Sorry. Okay,
green.
Go.
To me, it's super boring. It's green. Anyway, so I just made this like little almost carnelian, and I don't know if it's carnelian, but it's agate, and I don't know if I can just hold it up, but it had one of these brass beads that was on a necklace that I took apart, and it's just a little stretchy bracelet that'll match the necklace and 50,000 other things that I have. So just
it's
fun.
Perfect.
Yeah, just fun. No rhyme or reason. Kind of just went from big to small, and then put a brass bead on the back to hide the knot. So
love it.
Yeah, easy peasy.
Well, and now you have this whole matched set of things that you can just throw on. You can mix and match. Wear one necklace and the earrings, or the other necklace and the bracelet. Wear it all. So I love the fact that you took all of those necklaces or pieces apart, and you had all those beautiful things to work with. And that's what I'm hoping people will take away here is get out all those things, cut them up, pick some fun things pick some new beads to match with a beautiful pendant that you found and you love. So
I fall into a trap where I'm like, oh, I gotta save this to make this perfect piece. Just cut it up. Just cut it up.
yeah, just do it.
That's what I
Just
did
do it.
yesterday. I was like, okay, because I think even last show I featured a necklace that had a billion seed beads on it and these big honkin' beads. And I was saving it. Saving it. And yesterday I was just like, snip, snip, snip. We're just getting all these beads. And it worked out because I ended up using them in both necklaces. So just challenge yourself. That's what Crimped is about, right?
Yeah. And we're giving you that challenge officially now.
Mm-hmm.
So make a necklace, a bracelet, some earrings, and use something that you repurposed, recycled, upcycled, whatever term you want to use, and post it in the group and tell us about it. Tell us what you did, or what was, say I used a pendant, or I used a stretch bracelet that I cut, or I used my grandmother's, beaded necklace that she gave me and I didn't like it, but I wanted to do something different with it. Tell us what you did. And we'd love to see these pieces out there on the page. So we hope that
you'll
even
post yourself wearing them too. That's even better.
Ooh, that would be fun. I haven't really seen anybody do that, I don't think. So maybe we'll do that with then maybe the next challenge, which we're going to reveal at the end of this show. But maybe we could do that, and that will help people feel maybe more comfortable to show off their pieces. Do a little Vogue.
Love that.
Yes. So that was a fun challenge. Super fun challenge.
Yeah, now I have some cute necklaces for the rest of the summer.
Yeah, I got some fun things too, so I'm excited. All right, so should we pop into our first feature for episode 4?
Yes. So we're featuring Artisan beads and components, right? Yeah.
Yes.
So, Deb, I wouldn't say who's your favorite artist, because I can't narrow down. I have like 8 things.
I'm not saying I have a favorite, because I don't.
But one of my favorite things is to work with artisan components. And I think we've seen that on my channel a lot. I like to focus on artists. I have a few videos that I need to post from Tucson still. I did not post a lot in March, but I have a lot of features to post upcoming. And so hopefully you guys are excited about that. But we have a lot of stuff to show you today and talk about different artists. So Deb, you want to start?
Yeah, I have a bad habit of kind of holding on to the artisan things, because I love having them. I love looking at them and touching them. And I mean, you and I have that same sickness. So
it's a sickness. We're collectors, right? It's like trading cards. Although I wouldn't trade the items that I have.
No,
they're like Pokemon.
Yeah, they're better than Pokemon. So I just grabbed a few things just to show the kinds of things that I like with artisan pieces. So artisan beads and components, whether they're clay or glass or metal, doesn't matter. I've got all of them. I've got all the things. But I thought I'd show just a few things from my stash that I've got that I really love. So we both have a fair number of things from Damiana. So this is a Damiana Studio pendant. It's a very large statement pendant. It's got loops, loops up top, so you can attach to beaded chain or attach chain. This one has just the most lovely flowers and detail on it. So I'm crazy about this. Yeah. See, both of us, we love her and we love her work, and we love these pendants, clearly.
Strawberries on it, but this one has holes, not loops. But I figured since you're showing her, I'll show her too.
Yeah. So, yeah. I would guess you've got a pile of things like mine. So
yeah,
let's
probably.
see. Let's see if so I also have a few beads from Amy Neely, some Raku hearts. which I love hearts. I know you do too. There's the Raku pendant from Amy.
Love this one.
I
Yeah.
love these too. I made a bracelet with, so this strand is missing a couple. I made a cool bracelet with these before, and I'm thinking I might replicate the bracelet because I love those beads. All right. Gollum. Gollum beads. I'm sure you got, yep. So these, they're really known for their lentil shape, but I really like their ovals too. So
Yeah, their
these are
ovals are gorgeous,
just
and I haven't seen,
gorgeous.
the ones that you have in your hand are really pretty.
The color is gorgeous. So something I love. Okay, and then Green Girl Studios.
You know, I
So
didn't pull one of those. I don't know if I have that moth. That's beautiful.
it's got just a loop on the back, so it just slides onto your wire or your leather or whatever. I love this little one. It's super fun and cool.
Yeah,
Hello,
that's something
little
I'd have to
bee.
buy more than one of before I would be able to use it. It's really cute.
Yes. And then I've got a passion for Gardan beads. So Anne Gardan, lovely lady. I absolutely adore her. She she does a lot of this enameled copper, and
What's fascinating from her?
these are her these are connectors. So they're kind of, they can do different things. So they can look like a moon. So
Mhm.
it could be a moon, or they could go this way. But the color and the detail on her enamel pieces are just divine. So I'm crazy about. I've got quite a hoard of her things too. I just
I
need
don't
to
have
use
anything
them.
from her. I don't have anything from her. I'm jealous.
Her work is beautiful. So that's what I pulled out that I haven't used yet.
Well, let me show you some things that I pulled out from my favorite artists. Well, obviously, the ones that you mentioned are my favorite too. But there's a ceramic artist who I like to support on Facebook. Her name is Leah Clark, and she makes gorgeous things. I don't know if you can tell. This is a horse bracelet bar.
Love
Love
it.
that. We have Maku Raku, love her. And I have this little ghosty from her. Love that. I have so many pieces from Tucson that I got from her, and I haven't focused on her yet. So that's coming. I promise. I promise. My friend Heidi Blankenship made this. Now, I don't know if you can tell. It looks enameled, right? This is
Yeah.
polymer clay. This is polymer clay. Super gorgeous, super sleek. Saw it for the first time in
Wow.
like a year this morning. I was like, oh gosh, it's so gorgeous.
You need to use
Um,
that soon.
yeah, I know. I need to use everything soon. This is from Brooke Bach. So she is on Facebook. It's got a little face. You know, I love faces, and then some little artisan beads that she made. This is
Wow.
also um, this is polymer clay. Looks like ceramic, but it is polymer
She does
clay.
both. She does
Yes, she
both.
does
Yeah.
do both. And then Tanessa McLean, she actually sent me some. I struggled at her booth in Tucson this year, and I was like, I want this bead, but I want it to be that shape, and I'm like, I don't know if I want it. She made me the bead I wanted and sent it to me, and
Oh,
she made me another one because I was
I love
drooling over the evil purple, is what she calls it, because
I
it's
love
so
her
hard
work.
to work with. They call it, it's like industry standard, they call it evil purple, and I bought some evil purple beads while I was there, but she made me this one and sent it to me, and I haven't had a chance to focus on her yet. So thank you, Tanessa, for doing that. But those are just some of my absolute favorite artists, and of course they overlap with Deb's favorite artists.
Well, and I've got, like, we could
Yeah.
do favorite artisan beads in every show because
Hmm.
we've got so many favorites between the two of us and probably so many stashed away.
Hmm.
So I love working with artisan beads and components because I feel like these folks are putting themselves out there. This is their livelihood. They pour their heart and soul into this craft, and
Hmm.
I feel like it makes your pieces one of a kind. special, different. And even if, so some of them do short runs, so they do multiples. So Green Girl Studios is an example. They do some big runs of some of their pieces, but you can make something completely different than the person next to you with the same thing. And it's still a really special, unique piece that you're adding in. And it just carries their story forward. So I love working with the artisan pieces.
Yeah, I have to say, as a bead maker myself, like it can
Yes.
be it can be really frustrating to make the same thing over and over again. So I'm one of those people who's like, four, maybe five of the same piece. Maybe I'll come back to it in the future. Maybe I'll do a
Yeah.
separate one. And it kind of feeds into my creativity by let's move on to the next thing. I don't want to make 100 of the same thing, and that can be really frustrating for people who want that item, but it makes it more special when you get your hands on one, because I know most of the time, if I'm buying something from Heidi, she's not making a million of them. She's making maybe 10, and there
Right.
are 40 people or 100 people who want it. So and that's not creating scarcity. It's just like, that's my artist heart. I don't want to make the same thing over and over again. It's not
Yeah.
fulfilling to me. So that's what makes these pieces special too.
Yeah. I love to kind of hear how the artists get their start and, kind of their journey. So it's always interesting to meet them at shows. And I feel like that's when you can really understand them and how passionate they are about what they do. And a lot of them have their own Facebook pages or their Facebook groups and regular sales, or they participate in those artisan bead Facebook groups. So if you need that info, we can certainly provide some links and some guidance on how to find some of these folks. And if you haven't tried, I always in the beginning felt like it was hard to actually use one. Like I couldn't do it justice. You ever feel like that with pieces?
I did. And now I kind of, like I just said earlier, one of my mottos in life is the Nike motto, just do it. Just do it. And I say that every time somebody asks me, just do it, because if you're not going to do it, like, what do you got? You're going to end up with a bucket full of beads, which we all have. But I want to wear this cool stuff. I want to look at it and have a memory. And the best thing is when you go to a bead show and you're wearing something that person made, and you're like, look, and they just, like, their faces light up because
Yes.
their pieces are out in the world being used, and they're not in a cupboard somewhere. So
Yeah,
use them.
100%. So we're so excited to have that chat today, because we both really love and appreciate the artists out there that do what they do to help us make beautiful jewelry. So did you have a finished piece you wanted to show?
I did. I have a video of this on my channel, and unfortunately I couldn't find the necklace that I wanted to show, which I'm very upset about. But it's this bracelet. It's like a sunflower bracelet featuring a Damiana lentil. So she hand painted this lentil yellow with little polka dots, and then I used some check glass to make beaded beads and some little connectors, and just made it. Almost looks like a lemon, but it really goes with my sunflower necklace that's missing. I gotta find it. I searched everywhere this morning, and I was just like, okay, I don't know where it is. The last time I saw it was in Tucson, so hopefully I didn't leave it there.
I promise I had nothing to do with it.
Okay, that makes me worry. But maybe it's in my car, maybe it's under my bed. I don't know where it is. So I'm gonna be tearing the house apart looking for that.
Well, I grabbed a couple of things. Sue Lynn Tarnowski is a Canadian artist. She does some polymer, she does some metal, and she cuts some tin. And this earring's a little wonky, but I just hung her little metal tin pieces with a little pearl. Just a pretty delicate little, almost a shield shape piece. And the back, you can see it's just a piece of probably a cookie tin or something. And I really like her eye for things. So these are in my personal collection because I really love the look of them. They're fun.
Very cool. I'm actually taking a class next month about transfers onto metal, kind of like that. So, and I totally forgot about it until you showed those earrings. I signed up for it months ago and I totally forgot about it. So thanks for reminding
Better put
me.
that on your calendar.
Right. But yeah, that's really cool. I love that.
My last piece is just my other piece I wanted to show is this. So these are paper beads. And these are also by a Canadian artist by the name of Deborah Schwartz. She has a really cool name. And she and I collaborated on this. I submitted this design to Bead Style magazine back when Bead Style was still around. And it was my first published piece in that magazine. And I was over the moon. But what they told me is you have to have components that are available at the time of publishing to be able to say that, people can make this. So I got a hold of Deborah and I said, can you please make some more of these? And she was kind enough to do that, put them in her shop. And so our little collaborative bracelet, this is from so long ago, but I just love these beads. They are divine and so great. She is she does all kinds of things, and this is just some really good work on her part. So I always cherish this bracelet because of her work.
I love it.
So yeah, so we could talk about the artisan stuff all day, but we got some other stuff to talk about. So
so our next topic is how do you protect your pieces, right?
Yeah. So we had that as it was a suggestion by a member of the group.
I don't use a lot of protective things because I don't sell my jewelry and I don't wear my jewelry that often because I have so much of it. I could probably pick a different piece every day for a year. But you mentioned testers earlier in the day, and I do use a spray form they have a matte sealer and they have a glossy sealer, and I use those sometimes with my polymer clay. And then I also use some vintage gloss sometimes with paint, with acrylic paint. But that's probably as far as I go for the most part. What about you?
I have quite the collection of sealers and things. So it kind of depends on what it is. And what I would suggest to folks is if you have metal. So I think most of the time that's what people are trying to protect. So let's face it, metal is going to tarnish. Fine metals and the not so fine metals are going to tarnish. But you can do some things to slow the process down. So just some basic things like storing your beads in a plastic bag, a sealed plastic bag. So, seal it up. I mean, your metal pieces, I guess, is more what I want to say. So take your pieces, store them in a plastic bag. There's also some anti-tarnish sheets, and I went to look for them this morning. I could not find those to save my life. Who knows where they are in here? But they're little black sheets that you can buy and get them on Amazon, like Fire Mountain Gems and other places like that sell them. You can cut those up, drop them into your plastic bag. That will help. So if you've got a bunch of components, maybe even components that you're repurposing, you can use those, throw them in a bag, and maybe that will help. But if you are taking some of those things, so this ties back to the repurposing thing, you may want to try and seal the metal. Like if you want to keep it looking the way that it is, maybe it's got a little patina and you kind of like that look. You can spray it. So Krylon makes this crystal clear spray. I keep this in my studio. I will take this outside. Do not spray this in your house. It is toxic, and I will even wear a mask when I take it out. So I'll take it out off, kind of away from the house. I put whatever I'm working with on a piece of cardboard. I'll spray it down and I'll let it sit outside for a long time, sometimes 2 days, because this stuff, it smells nasty and is nasty. But this is an acrylic coating. I've also used Mod Podge. So Mod Podge makes sprays. They have a matte and a gloss. This can be used for all kinds of mediums. So I've used it for metal. Sometimes just to give it a little, if I paint on a metal or coat it with something, maybe some glitter or something, I might give it a shot of that. Sometimes I use a resin spray. Depending on what I'm doing, if I'm coating something to work with in resin, I use a resin spray to coat it, or I might use a sealant, like Nunn Design does a sealant for, Becky Nunn has done a lot of resin work and a lot of resin education. So you can use this to protect paper and things that you put in resin. And I will also use sometimes the spray. And then Aleene's also does an acrylic sealer, super gloss finish. Aleene's has been around a long time. This is a great product for sealing things. One more thing I'll show, and then I'll give a few more caveats to all of this. So this is Renaissance wax. So I like to use Gilder's paste to do coloring of metal, highlighting of metal. I did not bring the Gilder's paste in here, but they come in little tins kinds of things. And whenever I use Gilder's paste, I always use Renaissance wax on top of it as a sealer, because Gilder's paste will come off. So Renaissance wax, and this stuff smells like gasoline.
Oh no.
Really awful smell. You put it on with a soft cloth. I do use this in the house, but I use a fan and in a well ventilated area to make sure that I don't like pass out from this smell. Which leads me to all the things I would tell anybody. Read the instructions. There is a reason why they write stuff on the back of these. There's another sealant out there. I think it's called Protect-A-Clear. And that one you don't shake. Like most of the time you're shaking these things, you can hear that. You don't shake that one. So read the back, read it, because it will also tell you about how long will it take to dry, what kinds of things you can use it on. So I highly recommend reading. Always make sure that you're using this spray stuff outside. Don't spray this in the house. It is toxic. And some of it will really make you feel ugh. And if that's a worry for you, don't do it at all. But a mask is helpful. And there's also a product called Jewelry Shield. It looks like a nail polish. Mm-hmm. I don't have that. I used to. I probably used it up along the way. That's another one that a lot of people endorse. So just, try some things. I have all of this in my arsenal. I keep it on a Lazy Susan in my studio annex where I keep all the dirty, messy things, the paints and things. So I just, try to figure out what's the best thing for what I'm doing, which most of the time is, working with metal pieces and paint and do your research. I thought, Brittany, that I would post, there's a couple of really good educational YouTube videos out there, one by Beaducation and one by Bisou. They're fairly old videos. Maybe one of them I think is like 5 or so years ago, but they're all products that are still available, and they're great educational. So I thought we could leave them some links to the video or on the page, and folks can check those out and spend a little bit more time doing, a deep dive on some of the products. But I think it's great to try and, protect what you're doing. I would also say be careful of these kinds of products when you're selling your jewelry, because some people are sensitive to chemicals.
Mhm.
So you have to weigh, what you're doing and for what purpose. If it doesn't require a sealant, like a lot of those vintage paints, even though vintage sells a sealant, or when they had their last round of paints, they didn't suggest that you had to do it. It was just an option for you. So do your research, know what you want to do, but you can certainly seal things if it makes you feel better and it doesn't bother you. So,
Yeah. Well, thanks for sharing that. I use a lot of different sealants on polymer clay. I could probably do a whole class on that, but not with jewelry. So I appreciate the stuff that you just shared.
yeah, so we'll put more info out on in the group, thinking that if people are really interested in that, we can share more education on that. And the testers paint that I used, I thought might be interesting to folks, so I did a video for that, so we'll post that as well. Get that out on the site for you. And some of this stuff will work on finished jewelry as well. So the storage, put them in plastic bags, use the anti-tarnish sheets. Sometimes you can, spray down your pieces to protect them. Again, if it doesn't bother you or doesn't bother who you're giving it to, you can use it on finished jewelry as well. Some people will use that, the little fingernail polish kind on finished jewelry, and it's kind of marketed that way. So,
Very cool.
yeah. So, do you want to move on to our regular routine monthly features?
Yeah. So, what's your favorite piece you made in the last month?
This was hard. It's always hard, but there's this one bracelet that just sings to me. Jesse James Beads March Magical Mystery Bead Box is a Strawberry Fields box. Adorable.
Mm-hmm.
And when you get the card for the box, there's a QR code on the back. And when you hit that QR code, you'll see some projects from me. And this is one of them. It's just the cutest little strawberry themed bracelet, and it's got some little daisy beads and some little turquoise colored beads, and then these little strawberry charms and this little square glass bead. I love the colors. I love the strawberries. I don't know, it just kind of sings to me. I've had it sitting out because I just like looking at it. It's just very springy and summery and cute. So
That
I
is
think that's my
cute.
favorite.
That is cute. I forgot I made a bunch of bracelets from that box. I'm thinking like, where are they? They're over in my kitchen. Very cute. I think, and that box was super cute too. One of my
Oh,
favorites
yeah.
ever from them. My favorite piece recently was this one. There's a video on it on my channel. So
Oh,
this
I love that
is
one.
my moonscape pendant that I made. And then I used, we have some Golem Studio beads here,
Yeah.
some check glass, and then stuff from the bargain bead box to match the handmade, hand painted pendant that I have. These are sold out and they're not going back in the shop right now because I don't want to make it anymore.
Maybe
But
later, maybe.
maybe later in the year. But yeah, love this.
I
Love
love
it
that
so
one.
much. It reminds me of the mountains around my house. Love looking at the moon at night. So yeah, I'm obsessed with it. I haven't actually worn it because I just haven't had anything to wear it with, but she makes me happy.
When I watched that video, I love how your thought process was putting it all together, being thoughtful of, okay, well, I've got the stuff from the box, but these golem beads go nice and this pendant is perfect. I mean, everything just came together so nicely for that one. So I love
Yeah,
that.
that's one of the things I say a lot on my channel. You just gotta wait for the beads wait for each other to show up in the studio. So I have things, I mean, these golem beads I've had for probably 4+ years. And
Yeah.
I actually cut them off of a bracelet because I was not using the bracelet. And this the bail came in from somebody who sent it to me. These other check glass beads I've had for probably several months, and then they're just all waiting for everybody else to get here for the party.
Yeah.
So,
I sometimes put one piece on my work table and let it percolate, and things start to join it on the table. And then when it's ready to stir it all up and make it. So it
Gotta
has
wait
to
for the
just all come
ingredients.
together in its own time, right?
Right.
Well, what about what are you obsessed with lately, Miss Brittany?
I don't know. That's a really good question. I mean, probably still polymer clay. I'm being real boring because I've said the same thing like the last few months. I'm obsessed with my shop at the moment, getting stuff in there. We've got a new drop next week, and I'm always nervous that it's not going to go well, or I'm not going to get everything in there, which I never do
It's
get
going to go
everything in
great.
there.
It's going to go great.
But yeah, I think just polymer clay as usual. Maybe one month I'll come up with something different.
Well, I think sometime this year there's got to be something else in the
Well, I
equation.
did say painting. Painting I'm obsessed with too. It's not
Yeah.
just polymer clay. So
Yeah, that's always very I don't know, therapeutic, I think, too, to sit and paint. Like those wood beads that I painted were just so much fun, just kind of sitting here, and then I'd have to let it dry and then I have another session, another therapeutic session later, So
yeah.
it was
Yeah.
like therapy in making
Right.
that.
What about
Uh,
you?
Well, I have a couple things that I've been obsessed with, and I can't decide which I'm more obsessed with, but I came up with a little fun way to use buttons in earrings. So I've been making these button earrings. So there's a YouTube video out there where I take a button and put it onto a kidney ear wire, and then use the little silicone earring backs
Very
to
cool.
hold the button down onto. So most of the time, I mean, you can use buttons, but they flop around. It's kind of annoying. So I've been making these. I've got a bunch of different ones. I won't bore you with all of them, but
Cute.
I did a dress it up buttons one with a little baseball because it's baseball season. Deb loves her baseball. So I did some baseball ones. So I'm obsessed with those. And then the competing obsession is little beaded beads I've been making. So I put a few little beaded beads on a ball
Yeah.
chain. So just using, these are little ginkgo beads and some size 11s. So just doing some simple beaded beads, teaching people how to do that. Like, you think you can't make a beaded bead. These are the most simple beaded beads on the planet.
Mm-hmm.
So I've done a few, I did some for Jesse James beads. I did some for Beads to Live By, that shop. So I'm just having a blast putting these little 2-hole beads together with seed beads, and you can make them into earrings. You can do all kinds of things with them. I think I've got a project that will be published for Starman coming up. And those are probably my favorite ones so far. So I've actually got some beads behind me in this madness back here that I'm planning on taking a few to my my stepmom and her sister, because I'm going to see them this week, and so I want to make them some fun little beaded bead earrings. So I'm totally obsessed with that. I could sit and make those all day.
Yeah, I love making beaded beads. I think this bracelet had some
Yeah.
on it when and I think this one actually has beads inside of the beaded bead. There's like a check glass bead. And yeah, that's one of my
so
favorite
cool.
things to do. So,
Yeah.
well, that's fun. Glad you're
That
having
was
fun with that.
fun. Yeah, that's some good stuff. So I think we're at a point where we can tell people what the next challenge is.
Yeah. So what is our next challenge? We are going to be making a necklace, right?
Mm-hmm.
But what is our challenge part of that necklace?
So the challenge is it has to be animal themed,
Mm-hmm.
which
Doesn't have
We
to have
both
an
love
animal on
animals.
it, but it has
No,
to be relevant to animals somehow, right?
my notes are must include an obvious type of animal shape, animal print, could be an animal charm, could be an animal bead, could be animal fabric. Remember, we incorporated fabric in one of our previous challenges. So, you could do some, I've seen lots of animal print beads, so zebra stripes. You could have you reuse a big brooch of a cheetah head. I mean, there's all kinds of fun things for this challenge. I know jewelry makers are animal people. So there's going to be lots of good stuff that comes out of this one when everybody starts making this one. But for starters, it will just be you and I, and we'll have to come up with an animal themed necklace.
I'm excited. That's one of my favorite things. One of my absolute favorite things. I have a whole big bag of those animal necklaces, like the carved animal necklaces I need to take apart. So I'm just inspired. Can't wait. I'm probably gonna make 10 necklaces.
We'll have like a big box of stuff that we'll share next time. Like, look at this
Yeah,
one. Look at this one.
next show is just gonna be all show and tell, but not really because we have a surprise on the next show, right?
Yes, we do. So we teased out that maybe at some point we were going to have guests. So, kind of along the theme of artisan beads, we are going to have an artisan bead maker join us in May for episode 5. And we've been talking to that person, getting them ready for the show. And I love this person. I know you do too. So she's going to be, oh, it's a she. All right. A lot of them are she's. A lot of them are she's. So we're not giving anything away. But she's great, and she's someone that I think you guys will all enjoy meeting and hearing about. So we're going to chit chat with her a little bit, and we've got a list of people that we're going to bring in. We're going to try and pepper them in throughout the rest of the year. Brittany and I wanted to kind of get our feet on the ground doing this show for a little bit before we brought anybody else into the chaos.
Somebody else wants to join the chaos.
Do we have another guest? Do we have a guest?
Impromptu guest today.
Yay! Goldie!
Hi, Brittany. She's like, Mom, can you please pay attention to me?
Look at me. Oh my goodness. That face is just
I
melts
love
my
her
heart.
so much. She's been such a good girl today when I've been running around getting ready for the show. And she's like, can you just please play with me? I'm sorry, Goldie. But she's so chill.
I was at Costco yesterday, and I'm standing in line, and I get a text message, and I open it up, and it's from Brittany, and it's a picture of Goldie getting a bath. So Goldie was just all,
she was like a wet rat.
Yes, she looked a little miserable. She's like,
yeah, because she was in the shower without me, and she was like, "When are you getting me out of here?"
Mom, what did you do to me?
Yeah,
but she looks all pretty.
Yeah,
she's pretty today.
Yeah, she's so fluffy. All right, so she's
our
Crimped mascot.
She's always welcome as a guest on the show, for sure. 100%. We have one more thing to tell people too. So maybe this will air before, but even if it doesn't, you'll be able to see it. We got Rachel Siegel from Sam's Bead Shop reached out to us and said, hey, you want to do a Crimped Challenge Sam's Bead Shop show? Yeah,
of course. Although she took challenge to the max with the palette that she sent us, I gotta tell you.
You know, they're really good at that over there. And I think Rachel was sitting around going,
yeah, I think we agreed way too quickly. But we are going to feature them and some of my artisan beads that'll drop the minute after the show is over. So we're going to do the show, and then my new April drop will go live at 4 p.m. April 26th Pacific time. So 7 p.m. Eastern, which is kind of late. I get it, but we wanted to do it to coincide with the show.
It's Friday night. It's Friday night. Yeah. The Sam's Bead Shop show will be live on Facebook and YouTube at 3 p.m. Pacific time, 6 p.m. Eastern, and whatever other time zones I can't tell you. But but the show will be live. Brittany and I will be making some things with the incredible things that Rachel put together and Brittany's beads, and then the big launch will come after that, which is so Friday's going to be fun. Like
Friday's going to be big.
Yeah,
and
I might have to.
Other stuff going on this week too. That's kind of big too.
We do, both of us. You want to tell, or you want me to tell?
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, Jesse James Beads is doing their Beads and Blooms spring event, which is always a good time. And, they put together amazing teachers. You get this amazing bag of goodies. Mine's over there. And so Brittany and I are
going through it.
These classes are going to be so much fun, and they've been, they kind of group the things by class. So, Brittany, you're teaching a necklace, I think.
It's triple strand necklace. We're going to be making the pendant and some stringing. Lots of fun. Got some turquoise going on, some orange. Very, very
it's pretty.
Fun.
It's pretty. I'm making a necklace too. Mine is spa day. It's a spa day necklace because the workshop is self-care. So I'm going to get everybody to treat themselves to a spa day. And then I got asked to do a bonus class on jewelry photography. So I'm super excited about that. So I think my necklace class is Thursday, and I'm before you on Wednesday for the photography class. So that's going to be fun.
Yeah, that is.
I think fun. And Meredith Roddy's teaching, and Melissa Shippey, and it's going to be a great. Oh, and Jem's going to have like 3 projects, wow. And who else? Sarah's doing a workshop on color theory. Ooh. So we're getting she's doing some bonus things as part of it. And then the Zoom party is, oh gosh, she's going to be mad at me. I can't remember who's doing it. There's also a class in the special Zoom party that's at the end. And I think we're doing a necklace in that too. So it's a good time. So you guys will be able to see us there if you want to check that out. Because all the, except the Zoom party, all of it's available on Jesse James Beads. Facebook.
I think that isn't it available in the Beads and Blooms group though? I think you have to sign up for the kit for that one. That one's not open to the public unless you have the kit.
Okay, yeah, you're right. Well, some of you might be part of that group. So if you are, you'll be able to see some of the fun things that we're doing. So yeah, that's going to be really good stuff. I love that workshop. It's a lot of fun.
Me too.
So I love that both of us are doing it together this time. Yay!
Well, we talked about a lot today.
Whew, I'm tired. I'm going to need a nap for a little while before I try and do anything else today. And perfect timing. The Amazon delivery guy is just showing up out in front of my house. Who knows what one of us ordered this time.
Right.
So yeah. So thank you guys for being here. Please take the challenge, the Repurpose challenge. We'll post that to the wall. And we'll be revealing our pictures probably before this video posts. So you'll see the pieces. We'll try and have some of our before and after things available to you guys. And we'll have some other content that we'll share as part of this. So thank you all for being here.
Thank you, everybody. Glad that you're watching, and keep commenting and letting us know what you want to see. We appreciate you, and we hope you have a good week.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.